Hello and welcome to Daily Global Insights by Sree and Sree. Today is the 31st of March 2021 and this is episode number 130. Here are the main points. US cuts trade ties with Myanmar. Will internet access go next? Civil rights groups intensify their legal fight against the state of Georgia. Former Democratic presidential hopeful Andrew Yang is running for the post of mayor of New York City. And Russia suspected of stealing thousands of State Department emails, and we will know more in the days to come. In US news, will US ask its internet providers to stop giving access to the users in Myanmar? There are approximately 30% that would be using internet in Myanmar, and that comprises of about 17 million people. These are normal whenever there are sanctions given imposed by the US government. The US based companies are expected to follow it. However, there is some grayness in how the cloud infrastructure companies interpret these. So you'd have to wait and see how this plays out. So stay tuned. We will let you know how things go. Civil rights groups intensify their legal fight against the state of Georgia, and this is reflected in them telling companies like Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines that are headquartered in Georgia to boycott, to do more, otherwise they will boycott them. And this is concerning the new voting rules that are being passed in Georgia. White House announces new measures to counter anti-Asian violence. We can't be silent in face of rising violence against Asian Americans, President Biden said. On Twitter, he wrote these things and followed up with, "These attacks are wrong, un-American, and must stop." The measures come after a shooting in Atlanta earlier this month left 8 people dead, 6 of them Asian American. Illegal border crossings jumped to 150,000 in the month of March. We had told you that in February it was 101,000. In India news, India's central government warns that health infrastructure could be at risk. Among the top 10 high burden districts, 8 are in Maharashtra, 1 is in Karnataka, and the state of Delhi, taken as an entity, is the last one. Maharashtra COVID cases have dropped to 27,918. In other news, similar catastrophes in Himalayas are viewed differently in China and India. Gabriel Lafitte, author of the book Spoiling Tibet, China and Resource Nationalism on the Roof of the World, noted that while the information about floods on the Indian side of the Himalayas was discussed widely, there was hardly any mention of this on the Chinese side. In global news, US human rights report blasts China over Uyghurs. Russia's targeting of Navalny. The State Department released reports on the rights situation last year in nearly 200 countries, which are required annually by law and include detailed reports on geopolitical rivals like Russia and China. Too many people continue to suffer under brutal conditions in 2020. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken said, and this report is available for you. You can download it in our Show More section. Russia suspected of stealing thousands of State Department emails. Suspected Russian hackers stole thousands of State Department officials' email last year, according to 2 congressional sources familiar with the intrusion. In the second known Kremlin-backed breach on the department's email servers in under a decade, the hackers accessed emails in the department's Bureau of European and Eurasian Affairs and Bureau of East Asian and Pacific Affairs, the congressional sources said. It does not appear at this point that the classified network was accessed, a third official said. That's all we have for news today. We'll be back bright and early tomorrow morning, same time, same place. Namaskar.